studying, and it should be a very dynamic discussion. And again, the topic is brainwashing and analysis of the thought reform techniques used in institutional abuse. Sean Wilcox.
Okay, cool. So I'm a survivor of kids. I'm actually a really proud survivor. I didn't feel that way for a very long time. I never, for 2 decades, I never talked to anyone. I never told anyone what had happened to me because I was ashamed. I think I was ashamed of myself. I was ashamed of what happened. I was embarrassed about the whole ordeal. But I don't feel that way. I think we have this belief maybe in Western society, that I had a belief anyways, that my mind's like a diamond and I could withstand any amount of pressure and I'm not going to crack, and it doesn't matter what my social environment was. But I don't think that's the case anymore either. So I'm working on my master's right now, and people ask me, "Oh, what's your thesis on?" I'm always like, brainwashing, right? I'm not sure quite what to say, and everyone always says, 99% of people say that's so fascinating. Ask me lots of questions. It grabs people's attention. I've noticed that over the last 2 years. Say the word brainwashing and people are interested. And then you get the occasional person that has told me, including on the airplane yesterday, because he read the title of my paper, there's no such thing, right? I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you about that. You can come to maybe my discussion tomorrow and we'll see. And people like that, they believe that their minds are diamonds and they're these individuals that aren't influenced by the people around them or societal norms or anything. So anyways, I want to talk to you a little bit about brainwashing. And the terror of brainwashing comes from the diamond mind conception of self. It's the terror of being broken down and reshaped around some other person's specifications. And it draws its terror from our preferred view of ourselves as free, rational, decisive individuals. We think our minds are strong and pure, unchanging entities. And we think we have free will and we have the choice of whether we're going to be influenced by people or not. And I don't think that that's necessarily the case. And in fact, psychological studies and neuroscientific studies are beginning to show that that's not the case. We are largely just products of our environment. There's self-choice involved, but you get to choose between maybe A and B, but because of your circumstances, options C, D, E, and F are never open to you, to say that person has free choice to become president because Obama is, it seems like a bit of a stretch. So anyways, the word brainwashing, it first appeared. Edward Hunter used it. He was a journalist, but in fact he was a CIA plant. And the CIA planted him to go explain what was happening, why the UN personnel were coming out of Korea as apparent converts to communism. And he wrote a couple of books. I tried to read one of them. It's absolute drivel. It's propaganda. You can read it, and I'm like, I couldn't believe one word of it. It all just seemed like, but he stressed that the Chinese had this new powerful device, new to mankind, that was irresistible. He labeled it brainwashing, and he wanted to emphasize the malicious and coercive and terrible nature of the product, or of the word, or of the process. But the people that were coming out of China were saying this word, see now, see now. It means heart washing or heart cleansing. And they were talking about an actual Chinese process. I think Dr. Strozier's for 5 years what the Chinese were doing. And it was a program that was called Zusang Kai Qiao, which has been retranslated as ideological remolding, ideological reform, or as Lifton refers to it, just simply thought reform. Or brainwashing is the word that Edward Hunter gave us. So ideological remolding or reform, this doesn't sound so bad, and this is one of the paradoxes of thought reform or brainwashing, is that what one side, in this case the